This was on Fox News where they're talking about Joe Biden not showing up to the debate, a 90-minute debate. Let's go. Play it.
Strategist and Philippe Reines, Democratic strategist, and both of them have a lot of campaign experience, and they join us now, and it's great to have you both. Do you want to jump in here on this debate about the debates? And Matt Gorman, let me go to you first.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I've been following much of you've been saying. I don't see how you can put Joe Biden, the way he currently is, for 90 minutes unfettered, with no staff, no holds barred against Donald Trump on a debate stage. Just don't see how you can do it. We saw him after the Her report. I expect what will happen is the Biden team doesn't want to be seen as ducking debates, so they'll throw out something that they know the Trump team won't agree to. You know, instant fact check, something outlandish, and make the Trump team say, no, that's ridiculous, we'll never agree to that. And then they can point and say, we wanted debates, we couldn't do it. But as a staffer, I don't know how you could put Joe Biden out there for 90 minutes. I just don't see it.
Philippe,
who can? I mean, Joe Biden can't even last 90 seconds. Is Joe Biden going to be on the debate stage with his card? And is he going to be asking questions? I'm like, I need all the questions before we go on the debate stage. Is that how it's going to work? Remember, Donna Brazile, she gave Hillary Rodham Clinton the questions before they went on the debate stage, and she still lost. You remember that? And Donna Brazile wasn't supposed to do that. She violated. Nothing happened to her. I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to have to get you to step down because, just bring too much heat. But Joe Biden can't even last 90 seconds, people. They don't want him to go on the debate stage.
are we wrong?
Yes. Listening to the panel before we came on, I don't even know why Joe Biden is bothering with the election. Apparently, he has no chance. I think it's wrong for a few reasons. The one point that no one has mentioned is that it's Donald Trump who skipped how many primary debates? 6, 7? I don't remember. But he's the one that seems to be afraid to showing up. Joe Biden 4 years ago did really well in the debates. And, I think Joe Biden's going to do well in the State of the Union tomorrow night. He can absolutely handle Donald Trump for 90 minutes, for 2 hours, for 3 hours. This whole thing about his age and health. If everyone wants to make it about that, then fine. They are the same age. They're 2 years apart, 3 years apart. And I would rather be in Donald Trump's, in Joe Biden's body when I'm 81
in that camp,
than
when. Philippe, are you saying that you think 86% of Americans who think Joe Biden is too old to run for president, that they're wrong?
That's not the correct question, my personal opinion, to be asking. She should have been saying, are you expecting the American people not to believe their eyes and see that Joe Biden can't even last 90 seconds? He can't even speak. He can't talk. He's always putting his foot in his mouth. He doesn't know where he's going, left or right, when he's trying to get off the stage. Are you expecting people to ignore all of that? That should have been the question. His age, everybody knows his age is he's old. Dude is older than the Crypt Keeper. Listen.
It's not a matter of wrong. It's a matter you could want to pick whatever you want. The choice is between two people. One is going to be 78, is one going to be 81. It's not like
but you
it's,
admit that
Nikki
they
Haley
do present differently, right?
You do it. See, I would have said you do admit that Joe Biden has a hard time every single time he gets in front of the cameras with the microphone. He has a hard time every single time. President Trump just demonstrated how he went 20 minutes without a teleprompter, and he wasn't messing up. He didn't mess up at all. Joe Biden can't go 90 seconds without messing up. And that's even giving him some cushion room, the 90 seconds, because it's really shorter than that.
I admit that there is a perception that Donald Trump is younger than he is and healthier than he is. People conveniently forget how close he came in terms of his COVID bout. That was incredibly critical. And now,
oh my goodness.
I mean, he's forgetting more words than Joe Biden. He's up to the wrong world war. He keeps saying we're on the verge of World War II. It's a very one-sided thing. So if someone wants to vote on who's taller, fine. On who's older, fine. On who's doing better with the economy, great. I obviously think that the age in and of itself is an issue, but they're the same age. So we're all out of luck.
They're not the same age. They are not the same age. They do not have the same mental capacity. Joe Biden doesn't have the same mental capacity. Joe Biden is delinquent when it comes to that. When it comes to talking about brain cells, remember when they're constantly talking about people need to social distance? Joe Biden has 2 brain cells and they're social distancing from one another because they don't want to connect. This is what's happening with the Democrat Party. And they have this guy on there saying that Joe Biden and President Trump are the same. They are not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same. And you know what? People age differently. There are some people that when they're around Joe Biden's age, they do start forgetting things. You can see he's having a harder time walking. You can see that he's having a harder time staying awake. He has to take 40% of his presidency on vacation. I mean, there's clear signs that something is wrong with him. Now, you can misspeak and we can forgive that. But this guy, he has a hard time. The things that are alarming is when he goes, oh, where's so-and-so? I just talked to them and they were dead for 2 years. I mean, those are the alarming things that we're running into. Misspeaking is not even the biggest issue. He's talking to people that aren't even alive anymore.
Joe Biden talks to dead people.
Her actually said that in his interview, Biden couldn't recall certain things. That's alarming. That's something that people
they said
need
that you can't bring Joe Biden up for any trial or anything because he can't remember.
Right.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
They were angry when they were angry when her came out with that report.
Yeah, and
that you can't talk to him, you can't even hold him accountable for anything because he can't remember anything when he was senator.
Yeah,
he can't remember.
He's traveling all over the place doing court appearances. They're not having pity on him, going, "Oh, Trump's too old to do this."
Exactly.
Right? They're not doing that.
Exactly. That's a very good point. They have him hemmed up with these 4 fraudulent indictments, 90 plus charges, fraudulent charges, these civil suits, and he's showing up to them, but they're not saying that he's too old then. You notice that? That's very good. That's why you're the producer. That's why they pay you the big bucks. Pay me anything. Listen to this one. This is with Karine Jean-Pierre being asked a question by Peter Doocy about Joe Biden showing up to the debates. Again, they're going to do everything they can to prevent it. And the date's already been set. Is he going to show up?
Now that the field is down to 2, is President Biden going to commit to a debate with Donald Trump?
That's something for the campaign to speak to.
Well, we know when the debates are going to be. We know where they're going to be. Is he going to go?
You should speak to the campaign.
In 2020, once it got down to one-on-one, Joe Biden said, "I can hardly wait to debate him."
You see this? They've already have the location. So is Joe Biden going to commit? Just like I was mentioning a second ago, they're going to try to find some kind of crisis so Joe Biden can retreat to the basement. They're going to create something. That's why I was asking y'all earlier, do you think Joe Biden and the Democrats are going to try to create a crisis to prevent him from getting on the debate stage with President Trump? I'm telling y'all right now, Joe Biden doesn't show up. I still say President Trump should show up. Have an empty one because people will tune into it. 60 million people will still tune in to watch that debate with the empty podium for Joe Biden. And knowing the fact that President Trump is going to show up to it and Joe Biden isn't.
Well, that'd be a terrible
unless they create a crisis to get him to retreat to the bunker. It's going to look really bad.
Well, whether there's an empty podium there or Joe just refuses to do it, both look very bad on him.
Yeah, it's going to look bad.
Because once again, if he can't debate Trump, how are we to believe he could handle people like Xi Jinping and Putin? We can't. If you can't confront somebody that you think
if Trump is their biggest bully, then he should be able to stand in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Think about that.
As President of the United States, yes.
How about now?
I'm going to sound like a broken record. You should reach out to the campaign.
Why is this a campaign thing?
Because it's an election. It's a debate for the 2024 presidential election.
I'm not asking what argument he is going to make at a debate. I'm just at.
It's
okay,
not an argument. We're not talking about arguments. You're talking about his attendance.
You
need
get a
to
lot
talk
of
to the
questions in
campaign.
here about these polls concerning the president's age and his acuity. Do you think that it is going to quiet concerns about the president's age and acuity if he decides not to debate?
What I can say about that is not talking about the debate. That's something for the campaign to speak to. Not going to speak about that. To your question about age, I think I sort of answered that. I mean, you're going to see the State of the Union tomorrow. You're going to hear the president lay out his plans. You're going to hear a president who has had a successful 3 years of progress. Still a lot more work to be done, but a progress nonetheless, and how he's going to build on that.
I mean, really, so his progress. So he's going to come. I'm telling you, this is what he's going to say tomorrow. He's going to talk about how many jobs was it? What the 14 million jobs? He's going to say that, and these are people that went back to work, not newly created jobs. He's going to talk about that Chinese chip factory in Arizona with Katie Hobbs, conveniently, right? The same chip factory that Nancy Pelosi's husband made millions of dollars from, and they don't bring that up. They get that on the hush hush.
You like the content Will Johnson is producing? To stay informed and up to date with the current events, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Also, to find Will Johnson, visit www.uaf.media.